Hello snowboarders of the internet, I'm your host Avran LeFeber, and in this video we're going to be reviewing the Nidecker Sensor. This board features Nidecker's take on cam rocker, which is traditional camber with rocker in the tip and the tail. It is a less defined rocker, so you get more camber. That's going to give you the load, snap, pop, and drive from this board, while that rocker is going to elevate the tips, giving it a slight ease of entry in and out of turns, also making it more optimally pressable inside the park. On top of that, you also have the side kick technology, which does elevate the contact point so that it will not catch. This board is available in 147, 150, 153, 156, and 159. I rode this board at Copper Mountain on a sunny bluebird day with warmer temps. You had slush, chop, chunder, perfect hero, snow, and I rode it with my Rome Black Label bindings and my K2 Thraxis boots. The overall flex of this board comes in just below a middle of the road park flex. Now, when you look at other boards in this category, you figure it would be about middle of the road. No, this is slightly below middle of the road. Softer tips accentuated by those rockers, zones, and then it slightly stiffens up through the middle, and I mean mildly stiffens up with a ton of torsional flex. This board is very playful. Now, when it comes to stability, yeah, you can throw that out the window. It's like Dex Rutecki trying to do a Coke deal. You're going to feel everything. It's bouncing around all over the place. So you get a ton of chatter. It's going to resonate back underfoot. When you get into choppy terrain, it does get you bucked around. So remember to bend your knees, because if you're one of those guys that doesn't bend your knees, you're going to get bucked around. All right, so when it comes to the pop of this board, it's a limp-ass noodle. So, you know, if you're trying to ollie over a family of fat skiers, sorry, Timmy, you're getting decapitated. This is one of those boards you're going to be sucking your knees up to get any height with. Sure, you load up that camber zone, you load up that camber zone, you roll back on the tail to get it to engage, but even then, if you're mildly assertive, it's going to overflex that tail and you're just going to end up buckling the board. So you've got to be laid back, which reduces the amount of pop that you can actually get from this board. It snaps, yeah. It's not mind-blowing, it's actually kind of sad. Like, you have to be laid back to pop with this. And when it comes to jumps, the lip ends up doing most of the work. If you really load it up and pop, it doesn't pop. It just sort of flexes and bends, and you're like, oh god, I'm all cattywampus in the air. So basically, small to some medium-ish jumps are probably its strong suit, and I mean, I'm really pushing it with medium-ish jumps, and that's where it's gonna be. Here's the thing about buttering with this board. You got rocker and 3D shaping in the tip and the tail. That is going to elevate those contact points you're not going to hook. So if you're learning how to butter, this board's going to be absolutely great. You can get sideways, you can swivel around on your tail, you can just lean back and hold a press if you want. I don't know why you are, those are weak ass butters, but whatever. Pop into everything you do, people. But what you got with this board is just sweet spots that lock in, and if you remotely try to flex them, you're gonna just buckle this board. You need to be a little more laid back. But if you don't know that and you're learning how to butter, you're gonna be totally fine. Now, when it comes to jibbing, if you put any effort into this, you will overflex the board. So just roll slightly outside your binding into your nose or your tail. You're gonna lock into a press, and well, it's gonna hold it till the end, and then, you know, you're just basically hopping off the end of the feature, because if you try to snap out, well, it's gonna fold. And when you go sideways, because the center of the board is a little more rigid, it cradles aggressively around the feature. Doesn't clap out, but it cradles. You can feel it just bend right around it. So you gotta be kind of aware of that. Like, if you disaster down on something, you'll probably clap it out. But if you're just like hitting an up to a down and you transition at the apex of it and land into the down, it's gonna hug aggressively, but not clap out, and you're gonna be able to slide right through the feature. Mellow setup carves and those long drawn out ones are really its strong suit. If you try to drive this board aggressively by flexing into that camber profile and putting that power underfoot back through the tail, you'll flex the tail. It'll just wash out. This board can't handle it. It just can't handle it. That's what it is. It's not designed for aggressive carving, unless maybe you're a lightweight rider. If you're a lightweight rider, you probably won't have an issue, but for anyone that knows how to carve, you're just going to overflex it. I mean, it's a park board through and through. So stick to those setup turns and those mellow carves, and you'll be totally fine. Who's this board for? The park rider that wants a soft flexing deck. It's a soft, playful deck, and at this point in my life, I want a little more girth underfoot. Like, I overflex this thing. Some people might like something that's soft, and that's fine. I don't have a problem with that. I know who that's for. But this board was really underwhelming, especially in the snap. Like, if you were aggressive with it at all, it just it was like, meh, it just went limp noodle on you and you couldn't do anything. And that's just not what I like out of a park board. I mean, if I was riding like a 300-foot rope tow, which was just slush all the time, yeah, this would probably be absolutely great for screwing around and stuff like that. But if you want more performance out of your board, this isn't it. But if you're like learning how to jib, learning how to butter, you're a lighter weight rider, it's not a bad option. Comparable boards, the Telos Adit, the Libtech Box Scratcher, the Capita Ultrafear. Binding recommendations, the Nidecker K-On Plus, the Rome Vice, the Burton Malavita. This has been my review of the Nidecker sensor. Do you agree? Do you disagree? Do you own one? Are you gonna buy one? Leave me a comment down below. Let's have a conversation about this board. If you're new here, remember to subscribe, click the bell, get those notifications, that way you're not missing any of the videos we got coming out for all you snowboarders of the internet. And if you really like what we're doing over here and you want to support us further, swing on over to Angry Snowboarder VIP and become a member. Sure, I could tell you more here, but I got a video over there that explains it so much better. As always, I've been your host, Avran LeFeber, and I'll see you in another video.